Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Kieran,
I'm Trey.
and welcome back to this week's episode of Builder Sports Live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Builder Sports Live. Is now we take a more of an inside look on the end of the season for the men's and women's basketball programs. On the men's side, they do unfortunately take a tough loss to Friends on Wednesday, 77-74. A game that we were initially trailing in, but found our way back into at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of put ourselves in a little bit of a hole in the first half. Shots weren't falling, and Friends kind of got it going, but just a little bit too late, too little, too late. But we bounced back on Saturday. We hosted St. Mary for Senior Day. We won 82-79. We were kind of, handling them all game. They had a late push, but we were able to hold them off. Wyatt Bell finished with 22 points, 5 rebounds. Nigel John, a double-double, 16 and 10, so it was a good win.
Yeah, it's definitely the wrap-up to the regular season you're wanting if you're the guys. You do not want to take a 3-game losing streak into the KCAC tournament for them as they wrap up the 5 seed and will travel to Bethel to start that championship run that we're hoping for at the end of this week.
Yeah, it'll be a big run, for a big game for sure. They're at Bethel on Thursday. If they win, they'll play, to be determined. They'll play either Oklahoma Wesleyan or Avila on Saturday, and then if they win that, they'll play on Tuesday. So a lot of what-ifs right now, but just kind of got to take it one game at a time. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then on the women's side, on Wednesday in Wichita, they take a 94-36 loss, which is unfortunate for them, and just a tough road game in general. And then to wrap up the regular season, the women fall to the University of St. Mary at home in Stewart Fieldhouse. But I think at the end of that game, we kind of realized that was a great performance for Macy and Allison Frank to wrap up their careers here at SC. And Brianna Goad and that freshman squad kind of showed that they'll be back next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad that, Stewart Fieldhouse was pretty packed, and I'm glad that Macy and Allison got their curtain calls, and they kind of – they heard it from the Stewart Fieldhouse crowd, so that was good to see. And, yeah, as you said, a little bit to look forward to with Brianna and, the rest of the girls, whoever will come back. But, I know Coach Burt's hitting the recruiting trail hard, and so is Marta and Eddie. So they'll be primed and ready to go next season for sure.
I'm sure we'll have a very competitive team next year, and they'll be looking to turn things around on year 2 of that rebuild.
Absolutely.
But all right, everyone, right after this ad break, we'll check in on Builder Softball.
Earning your trust with honesty, integrity, and fairness, Millard Management protects you from unexpected crop losses with superior service you can count on. For all your crop insurance needs, look to Millard. Southwestern College Athletics is proud to partner with Millard Management.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Builder Sports Live. As now we take a look at the bat sports and how their last week has been. On the softball diamond, they unfortunately took 2 tough losses to Southwestern Christian University. First one, a 12-0 loss in Game 1, and in Game 2, a 13-1 loss for the Builders. Taylor Mesna has led the Builders so far with 10 hits this season. Tiara Henry in the leadoff spot with 7 hits and 6 RBIs. Emma Williston, she's been 2-1 so far this year with 11 strikeouts. She's been our primary starter. And then Faith Campbell, who's been starting Game 2 in a lot of the series, a 2.42 ERA with 28 strikeouts so far in 26 innings pitched for the Mound Builders softball team.
And on the baseball side, we had a little bit of a non-conference matchup with William Penn University. We had a doubleheader there. We lost Game 1, 6-8. But we turned it around in Game 2, won 9-7. Rayshawn Dorsey, 2 hits, 2 RBIs in that win. Cole Van Stone, 2 hits, 2 RBIs as well. Tate Lewis got the win for us, and Jack Merrill got the save. So that was a good kind of bounce-back win for us. This weekend series, we hosted Tabor College for a 3-game series. Game 1, we lost 4-14. Game 2, lost 15-6. And then Game 3, we put up a little bit more of a fight. We lost 9-12. Jaden Hensley was on the bump. He's been kind of our go-to guy. 16 innings pitched this season, 13 strikeouts for us. And Rayshawn Dorsey has been our offensive weapon. 26 hits, 19 RBIs. He's got 3 homers on the season. And Sam Binns has been in the mix too. He's got 18 hits, 7 RBIs for him this season. So it's just going to be a matter of them kind of putting it together on offense and defense.
Yeah, for sure, especially on the defensive side. That Sunday pitching squad has been elite. You saw them post the third most strikeouts all time in a game for the Builders on Sunday, but they're just going to need a bit more help defensively. But I think they'll find that stride here in the next few weeks, especially as the schedule kind of turns on the road. You really do have to pick things up. But players like Rayshon Dorsey, as you mentioned, going 4 for 5 on Sunday, I think he's batting close to 500, which is unheard of in college baseball. I think he'll continue to lead this Builders team the rest of the way this season.
Yep.
But all right, everyone, we're going to turn things over to Kurt Caden, and we'll be back with you guys later on in the episode.
Builders, the future is here. We're building the Bruce DeHaven Football Complex, honoring a Southwestern legend who rose from small-town Kansas to the NFL's biggest stage. This isn't just a facility, it's a game-changer for our 150-plus student-athletes, giving them the tools, pride, and community to take Builder football to the next level. And you can be part of it. Sponsor a locker for $600 or make your mark at sccans.edu/make-a-gift. Together, let's honor a legend, empower our athletes, and build the future of Builder football. The time is now.
Hey, thanks, Trey and Kieran, and we'll be returning to you guys here shortly. But let's talk some tennis. We've got a couple of players and a head coach coming up. Tennis season is here, and we're going to visit with Rose Ellie first from Florida here at Southwestern. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
What year are you in your junior year?
Yes, I'm currently a junior right now.
And you've been here for 3 years?
Yes, I have.
Tell me about your experience at Southwestern.
The academic side of it has been really fun for me. I'm hoping to get into law, so I've been really focused on that, and tennis has been the second part of that for me. So the journey of my freshman year to here now has been really something amazing, so I'm glad I can be part of it all.
Tell me, I'm always fascinated when folks come from far away, from Florida, near Fort Pierce, Orlando, Miami-ish area, right?
Yes.
In that area. How did you hear about Southwestern, and what's the experience been like being here in Kansas?
I think that's a really intriguing question. I always get asked, like, how did you get from Florida to somewhere here so cold? But my original thought was I wanted to be somewhere that could allow me to focus and study for law, because that's really something I needed to focus on. So I originally played soccer here. So thanks to my coach from my freshman year, he recruited me to play soccer here as a goalie. So I was like, it's far away. Let's do it. I wanted some break. I wanted to be far away, and that's exactly what I got. And that journey has been really good for me.
And it's fun because, folks leaving Florida, they're like, really? You want to leave Florida to come here? I think it's fantastic. What professors have been really influential to you here?
I want to say Jacob Goodson for sure. He's given me lots of opportunities to be TA and kind of just takes part of my academic life. And then I want to mention Christian Faisal. They've given me lots of opportunities to get more into the law field of things, like interning for him. So they just give me lots of opportunities and believe in me. So
which is what you'll get here, I feel like, at Southwestern. You get a lot of one-on-one and chances to shine for sure.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's great.
Well, we are here to also talk some tennis. We got the tennis season starting up. Tell me how practice has been going and what your hopes and aspirations are for you personally and for the team this year.
Oh, perfect. I'm really enjoying the team this year. We have a much bigger team than we did last year for sure, and everyone is kind of new. So it's like a great experience since I've been here since my freshman year. Kind of seeing how it's like changing every year. I'm kind of really excited for this year. Our team is looking really great. I like my new teammates. They seem really optimistic and ready for the season. They give it their all, and practice is always a fun place to be around. So I'm kind of really liking it this year, and I have high hopes for like how we play and how the guys get along with each other, us as a team in general.
Looking forward to that. I'm always curious coming from Florida, wind is such a thing here in Kansas. I mean, when you're serving and that wind's blowing 15, 20, 30 miles an hour, that had to be an adjustment for you.
Big adjustment. I think it was more like I had to practice not being angry. that was one of the big things, because I could just blame it on the wind, even if my serve was bad. But I could just blame it on the wind. But it doesn't help at all. It's like coming from a subtle weather to like no wind at all, and I can trust my serves. Coming here is more like I got to adjust with the wind. So it's been a lot for me. It's been a lot.
Can't wait to see you out on the courts here in Winfield. Looking forward to the season. Rose, thanks so much for joining us here on Builder Sports Live today.
Thanks for having me again.
Rose Ellie joining us here. We'll take a break. We've got Drake Lowe coming up right after this. Hey, welcome back, everyone, here to Builder Sports Live. Today we are featuring tennis. I've been so excited for a long time to get tennis on here. We've had all the sports on here. We've been missing tennis, and now we get to talk some tennis here. We had Rose on just a moment ago. Drake Lowe joining me now from Winfield here at Southwestern, a junior. Drake, thanks for being on the show.
Yes, of course.
Great to have you here. Tell me about playing tennis here at Southwestern. You're a Winfield guy, such a great career at Winfield High School, and now to play at Southwestern and to represent the Builders. What's that like for you?
It's an awesome feeling. This is my second year, and it's just when I was in high school, Southwestern always had, a strong tennis team, a strong tennis program, and so initially I went to Cali right out of high school for a couple years, and when I was looking to transfer, Southwestern was not my initial, choice or initial landing spot, but the coach at the time reached out and gave me a scholarship, and I took it, and I haven't looked back since.
Very happy with where you're at, school-wise as well. Are you happy
Yes.
with classes? Talk about. I know you studying chemistry, right?
Business.
Business, not chemistry.
Nope.
We'll X that out. No, that's that shows the beauty of our show here. We can go there. So business. Let's see. What professors are influential in your daily work?
I'd say the two that are probably the most influential in my academics are probably Kristen Petty
Yes.
and Allie Allen. I look up to them both a lot. They've helped me, through challenging times, helped me navigate those obstacles, and I'm really thankful to have them in my corner.
Two good ones that get a lot of mentions here on Builder Sports Live. So it's always nice to throw their names out there. With the upcoming season, tell me about Coach Persegona and your thoughts on how she's leading the squad.
Coach is great. She's done a really good job from day one. Just kind of setting out the expectations and leading by example. It's been a lot of fun. This year, last year we had some coaching issues, but this year, Coach has she's always been someone that we can talk to, about tennis or, just life. And so it's really nice to have someone like that, that you can just count on and that you can go to, really just for anything. So I think she's doing a great job, and I'm excited to see what the future holds.
You, again, mentioned you're from Winfield here and played multiple sports at Winfield High School.
I had a pretty good soccer coach.
Yeah, your soccer coach was pretty good, I feel like. We had some success there for sure. But you know what? Your character, your family's so influential in this town, and to see what you do with the Winfield Recreation Commission, I know you help out with youth tennis so much, and the joy I see when I see you working with the kids out there. Talk about that experience for you, what that means to you.
Yeah, I've always loved playing tennis, but I think coaching tennis, it's been equally as amazing of an experience. And so I love working with kids. I love working with the youth. And it's really cool, to see these kids improve day in, day out. When I was younger, I started later. And so my job or my goal is for each kid that I interact with and that I work with to help them maybe with the things that I didn't have when I was at that age, just so that they can have a stronger foundation and hopefully be even more successful than me.
Real quick, with the upcoming season, what are you hoping individually? What part of your game do you feel confident about? What part of your game do you think you still need to improve on?
Definitely, weakest part of my game is definitely the serve. You can ask Coach. But I would say probably the strongest part of my game is just my consistency on both the forehand and backhand wing. So I'm looking to improve my serve and then, just be competitive in a lot of the matches that I play.
Can't wait to see you out on the courts. I know the season's just upon us here, and
Yes.
you've been practicing and looking forward to hope you have a great season this year, Drake. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
That's Drake Lowe joining us here. We'll bring in head coach Persegona Coming up next here on Builder Sports Live. And welcome back to Builder Sports Live, talking all about tennis, men's and women's tennis getting going here at Southwestern. We've had a couple of outstanding student athletes on here, Drake and Rose, and now we bring in first-year head coach Kathleen Persagona. So glad that you are here at Southwestern, and welcome to Builder Sports Live, your first appearance on Builder Sports Live.
Yes, I'm very glad to be here as well.
Hopefully the first of many appearances on here on
Hopefully.
the show. Let's talk about you before we talk about this team. From Brazil, grew up in Brazil, and then came stateside. Talk about your journey here to Southwestern.
Yeah, so I grew up in Brazil. I was there until I was 19 years old. I came to the U.S. to play D1 tennis in Texas. I was there for 3.5 years of eligibility, and then worked 1 year with finance. After that, went to New York. I was coaching D1 there as well. I was an assistant there for 2 years, and then I came here to be the head coach. I'm very happy I'm here.
You slip in 1 year of finance or whatnot. Was that uncomfortable? Were you not in a happy place there? Were you missing tennis during that time?
Yes, definitely. I think it was very different to playing tennis my whole life to going to a corporate job and just staying sitting in a desk for 8-9 hours a day, and it was very different. I would look in the window outside and wish I was playing tennis or I was out. So very different from what I have done for my whole life. So I decided to go back to tennis and coaching. I coached before private lessons for many years, and I'm very glad I decided to do that.
And then you come here to Southwestern and take over a program that has a proud history, but has been a little bit down in recent years. And Drake talked about some coaching changes or whatnot. The challenge for you, what's been the biggest challenge for you as you've taken over the men's and women's program here at Southwestern?
I think recruiting, it can be a little bit challenging sometimes, being able to attract talents in here, but I'm very confident that with the great team that we have right now, we're going to be able to bring more kids in and help out the program and make sure that they are playing their best and they are performing well and that they're happy as well. That matters a lot for me.
Matt O'Brien, the athletic director, talk about your relationship with him. I know he's excited to have you here. He talks very highly of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad about that.
Randy Rowley, head a mound builder, Southwestern grad, head men's tennis coach at Army, also speaks very highly of you. How do you know Randy, and was he influential in getting you here to Winfield?
Yes, that's actually a very funny story. So I was at St. Bonaventure. I was coaching, and I was coaching again. So I was with the men's team, and the head coach base was with the girls, and I was coaching against the Army team, and I started talking to Randy, and I don't know why, but he liked me, I guess, and he asked if I wanted to continue to coach after, and he was the one pointing me to this job. After that, Mike Avasola called me and asked if I wanted to interview for the job, and it happened, and it was great. I'm very happy. Everything happened the way it did.
So glad to have you here.
Yes.
Rose and Ellie. Rose and Drake, I beg your pardon. You brought them on here today. What have they meant to this team here as you've getting ready for the spring season?
They both were in the team already when I arrived here. They are really hardworking players, and the team look up to them. And I just wanted them to come here and share a little bit about their history and how the tennis team and how the school helped them to achieve everything that they have done until right now. So I'm very happy that they are in the team, and I hope that they are happy about about playing and being here, because they mean a lot, I think, not just for the team but for me as well.
How has practice has been going? I know we've had Mark Carvello, the baseball coach. We've had Sarah McAnich, the softball coach. Those of you that rely heavily on good weather And we've had, for the most part, good weather. We certainly have had some cold, but as far as practice is going, have you been able to get out there and get the work in that you need to?
Yes, yes, we have. The wind has been a little challenge just serving and hitting. The ball goes everywhere, but they're handling it really well, and that's something that it happens with every single player. So we just have to adjust to it.
What do you feel like your biggest strength is? I know you played at University of Texas El Paso, D1 tennis. That experience, how have you used that experience to help your players now?
I think I had great coaches in there as well. One of my assistant coach, Joanna, she was very influential in my life. She helped me many, many ways, and just seeing her having that impact in my life, I wanted to be that kind of person to my players as well. So that was one of the things that really motivated me to start this career, and well, she was a huge had a huge impact in my life. So
you mentioned you're from Brazil, and your family might be watching, but they don't speak English.
Mm-mm.
You want to say something in Portuguese? I love the language. You want to say anything to your family in Portuguese?
Okay, eu will. Mãe e pai, amo muito vocês. Muito obrigado por tudo que vocês fizeram por mim e por eu estar aqui hoje. Just
Love it.
thanking them for me for being here today, because it's thanks to them, my parents.
What a great story. Folks, if you're in Mound Builder Nation or whatnot, you should get on campus and meet Coach Persegona. She is outstanding, just delightful, and so excited to see what you're going to do with this program. You can go to buildersports.com and check out the tennis schedule. A lot of home matches coming up, which is exciting. Thank you so much for coming on and bringing two terrific student athletes on here, and wish you the best of luck this year.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here.
Of course. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Trey and Kieran are on the other side to talk more about tennis. This is Builder Sports Live.
RCB Bank is here for you yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Since 1936, RCB Bank has helped families, farmers, ranchers, and businesses forge a path to a solid financial foundation. RCB Bank is proud to be a community bank and a proud supporter of Southwestern College athletics. Whatever your banking needs, RCB Bank is here for you. Learn more today at rcbbank.bank. RCB Bank, that's my bank, member FDIC.
We've been working on this kind of like Builder Sports Live behind the scenes stuff for like this whole year. We think this is just like a great opportunity for us to bring you in, celebrating kind of Hoosiers this year, but also kind of what you did at Southwestern and kind of bringing in that aspect to an interview that's probably different from the general questions you usually get.
I like it.
All right, sweet. So we'll get started here. I'll just run through our little intro, and then we'll probably start off just asking about transitioning from life in Indiana and moving out here to Winfield, Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, it was a transition. I'm from Greenwood, which is a town of about 35,000, suburb of Indianapolis. And I went to a big high school, had almost 400 in my senior class. And, when I came into Winfield, honestly, it reminded me a little bit of a town just south of us here called Franklin, Indiana. They have their own college, Franklin College, pretty much a college town. So that's what it reminded me of. But I grew to love it immediately. You learn a lot when you're 700 miles away from home. I always say that I probably learned 60% of what I learned in college outside the classroom, how to budget your time, how to budget your money, living, on your own, and the other 40% in the classroom. But it was an adjustment, but it was a good one. I had really good 4 years there, and I have fond memories of SC.
That's awesome. And from what we found, you played golf and basketball. Is that correct?
I did, and that's kind of a weird story. In high school, I ran cross country, played basketball, and ran track, but I lived on a golf course, and so I would play golf occasionally with my dad. He was a golfer, and was always a decent golfer. But never went out for the high school team. So when I got to Southwestern, of course, Coach Hilmer knew I ran cross country, and I just thought it was going to be really hard to go right from cross country into basketball. Although we did a lot of conditioning, so it did a little bit of running anyway to get in shape. But anyway, I decided against that, and then found out that I had really more time in the spring with my basketball off-season workouts and ended up playing golf for Coach Stevens. And I got a conference championship my sophomore year, so just was in the right place at the right time. I wasn't the top golfer, but I was probably the 4 or 5 man, was good enough, to play there at SC. And yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but I actually have 2 conference championship rings, one for basketball and one for golf. So, and I still have them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you're probably one of the few people who's had a KCAC title in multiple sports just in your 4 years, which is crazy, especially now in the era of you're moving away from two-sport athletes. But it's great to see that you kind of carried that legacy of what it's like to play multiple sports throughout high school and college.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I never really thought about it. I'm sure if I think back, there probably were athletes when I was there that did more than one sport. But typically, as you guys know, and you know this, Trey, at the college level, your main sport takes up a lot of time, and even in the off season, you're working on that sport. So, but golf sort of lended itself to be able to. I could still work on my basketball during the golf season. And Coach Stevens was a former basketball coach there, preceded my coach, so he was okay with it. So, but yeah, great memories of both basketball and golf.
Yeah, I play basketball here, so like in the off season, that's kind of what we do for fun is go play golf.
Yeah.
Go to pickup and workouts and everything. So I get what you're saying, but when I played here, when I played basketball, our rivals were kind of like the Bethels, a little bit of K-Dub, Oklahoma Wesleyan. And I know the conference it's changed recently, and I'm sure it's
Right.
changed a lot since you've been there. But who are your kind of your rivals, in basketball and I guess in golf too?
Yeah, that's a great question. Of course, back then the KCAC had St. Mary of the Plains out in Dodge City. I'm trying to think teams now that are not in there now. Pretty much has most of the same teams: Tabor, your Bethanys, your Bethels, Sterlings. We always had really good battles with Friends because they were close by Wichita. We always had good battles with them. Bethany was really good when I was there during my SC years. We had battles in Tabor. Tabor was the Ringler boys, brothers. They had, I think, 2 of my 4 years. They were conference champions. So, but aside from that, you mentioned K-Dub and some of the Kansas Wesleyan, but also now you play other teams like your Oklahoma Wesleyans. Like I think Avila might be in the conference now. York comes to mind. So you've got some additions there that we didn't play against. But pretty much the conference is, your goal was you wanted to win the conference, and of course you wanted to do well in the tournament, obviously. And thinking back on that, really a lot of that hadn't changed. I think you guys still want to win that conference championship, and then if you get into the tournament and do well, that's gravy. But yeah, and to the golf portion, it was very much conference related. Although we went to different courses all over. We went out of state into Texas and some really nice courses we got to play. One of the courses I remember was in Hays, Kansas, and there were 40-mile-an-hour winds. So, you learn to be able to keep that golf ball low in the wind.
It's kind of interesting. I think like I look at it mostly in basketball, but in every sport, just like which teams are winning throughout all of the KCAC. I mean, it's been around for
Right.
so long, but like whenever I came to Southwestern, and Coach O'Brien was recruiting me, there was already kind of a rich, history, and he was kind of proven as a head coach. But I'm just curious, like when you came to Southwestern as a basketball player, was it kind of a similar feel? Was it like a already established kind of culture there, or were you part of establishing that?
Yeah, that's a really great question. When I came in, I followed, you can do your history and look up the Wilkie boys.
Okay.
They were
Yeah.
in the late 70s, Hall of Famers there at SC, had some good teams. My freshman year came in Eugene Cheadle, and I still would rank Gene, and we lost Gene here about a year ago. But he probably was one of the best players I ever played with or against. Had to guard him in practice. My roommate, Paul Steele, was All-American there, and probably one of the best players I ever played with. We conference, to your question, Southwestern was established. They had won some conference championships. Coach Stevens had a good history there, but there was a little bit of a drought. I think their last conference title when I came in might have been 78 or 9. I have to go back and check my banners there in Stewart. And so there was a little bit of a big gap there. And then 85, my senior year, we were fortunate to win the conference. And we still, us players, still talk about when we get together, we were 17-1 that year in the conference. So Tabor knocked us off out there, we would have gone undefeated in the conference. So we're still kicking ourselves over that one game. But great non-conference schedule. I mean, I played for Coach Sandifard, and we went to Hawaii 3 years in a row. We played University of Alaska, played against Wayman Tisdale at Oklahoma, Mike Wacker at Texas. We played big schools, and he believed in what they call the ham and egg concept. Ham and egg games were where small schools would go play big schools at their venue, and they would pay you a lot of money to come do that, to beat up on you. And but it made us tougher for our conference, and got that experience of getting to play in Lloyd Noble Arena or the Texas Gym or Brigham Young. So I had those memories, and I still remember those times.
Yeah, how was it going into that area where it was very likely you played against Division I or Division II schools? How did your team kind of look at that? Is that something that's very rare now, getting those opportunities? But as we looked through your schedule, it was all over the place of teams you managed to play in your 4 years.
Yeah, you're right. Here's what I always tell people. I personally was a good basketball player out of the state of Indiana. I wasn't a great one. And here's what I mean by that. There is a difference to me between that Division I quickness. For me, it was all about quickness. I was quick, but I wasn't what you call D1 quick. And there's a little bit of a difference. It's not much. I mean, I felt like I could shoot with those players. I felt like I could pass with them. I could dribble. But my example I always give is when we played Oklahoma. Tisdale was a sophomore. I guarded Tim McAllister. You can go back and check him out. Tim is a good player at Oklahoma. Might have played in the NBA a few years. But I guarded Tim, and he was from Indiana, ironically. So it was two Indiana boys. He was a couple years, he would have been 2 years younger than me. I was a junior. He was a freshman at OU. And I remember having back up on defense about a half step. And Trey, you know what I'm talking about. When you're going against somebody a little quicker than you're normally guarding, that half step of backing up, what happens with that? They pop that shot over you. So, it's one, you pick your poison. Do I let him go around me and get a layup, or do I let him maybe, miss a long two? For me, it was a long two. We didn't have the 3-point line. That ages me. Paul and I, most of our points came probably from that 3-point line, but we didn't get credit for it because they only counted them two back then. But that was the main difference to your question, Karen. Quickness. To me, it was more about a little bit another level of quickness. That was the thing that I noticed for me personally.
And then after those seasons, how was it transitioning for you out of SC? It seems like you immediately went now into acting in this movie and then into the professional world working in business. How was that transition from you as you probably graduated and 4 or 5 months later were on the set for this movie?
Great question. So my 1985 was a very interesting year. So that spring, graduated from SC after just a great time there, great 4 years, both academically and in sports, physically, athletically. And then roundabout, we had our graduation there in the stadium, the old Sonner Stadium, Money Penny track in May. Came back home, signed a contract with Jostens. My dad was a Jostens rep, and I wasn't sure that's what I wanted to do, but after I thought I might go into law, thought I might be a stockbroker. And anyway, I ended up going with Jostens, which I'm still with 41 years later. In Jostens, we do class rings, announcements, caps and gowns. A lot of people know Jostens because we do the Super Bowl, the World Series, NBA champ, UFC tap out, pro bass rings. Most of the world-class championship rings in the world are done by Jostens. So anyway, that was signed with Jostens in July. And then there were articles in the paper that summer about a movie that was going to be shot based on Indiana high school basketball players. And I was 23, just graduated SC, felt like I was too old, but back then I had my hair still, I still look young. And I had a lot of friends say, hey man, give it a shot. You never know. So after some coaxing and folks egging me on, I tried out for it, and it was just like a big cattle call. down at University of Indianapolis campus, and they had over 8,000 young men go there, Los Angeles and Chicago, interview, do some basketball workouts, and then just got a lucky break. And so continuing on with 85, then that was in the midsummer. We were selected members of the team. We started filming in October, and then finished filming the end of December, and then I got married in December. So how's that for you?
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's
how's that for you?
remember.
1985. Yeah, pretty busy, but all that was packed into that one year. So it was, transitioning back after college into the work world and getting ready to get married and the movie, everything hit at once. It was just a crazy time. And, I think back on that, I can't believe I don't know that at the time I knew everything that I was doing. I was multitasking and didn't even
Yeah.
realize it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a crazy time.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite place that you kind of went to as this movie was filmed? Obviously, like places like Hinkle Fieldhouse is somewhere I would think of that it's a part of this movie that's maybe something you've held on to now for the rest of your life.
Well, interesting you asked that question. Of course, Hinkle is iconic.
Yeah.
Butler still plays their games there, part of the Big East. Trey, have either of you ever been to Butler Fieldhouse or
Yeah,
Camp?
I've been to Hinkle before. Yeah.
Okay, so Trey, if you have not, put it on your bucket list to go visit Hinkle. It is a really
Yeah.
cool arena. Yeah, it's iconic. I think they built it in the 20s, and when Butler went through that stretch here about 10 years ago, when they went to the
Yeah.
final game, my daughter cheered for that Butler team.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. They filled that place, and it was unbelievable. I mean, they still have high school games in there during the Indiana High School tournament.
Mhm.
So that's one place I would certainly, that's an obvious one. But the other one I would point out would be the Hoosier Gym,
Mhm.
which is where we played all of our home gym games. It's the one where I get kicked out of practice early
Uh,
in the movie for mouthing off, and all my college teammates
yeah.
tease me about that. They say, "Long, we never heard you talk back to coach." And so it was neat to kind of get to be out of my comfort zone and play a bad boy, if you will.
Yeah.
And of course, the movie's based on redemption or second chances. All through the movie, you see a player, a coach getting second chances, and I get my second chance in that. I mouth off and act awful, but I come back and end up being the captain of the team. So it's a movie about redemption. But those are two that come to mind. The Hoosier Gym, that's in Knightstown, Indiana. And oh,
Mhm.
by the way, if you two are ever here, you should make a visit there. They've made that into a tourist site. They actually play games in there. It's like a museum. It's pretty cool. I'm a little biased because we filmed
Yeah.
home games there, but they get visitors from all over the world that come visit there. So yeah, Hoosier Gym I'd rank it up there as well.
Yeah. And then I know as well, I believe your dad played basketball at Indiana. Are you still around IU at all? For me, I know it's been a big year for them with now the recent success with football.
Right.
My own brother goes to IU. So has that been somewhere you've been around recently, going to
Yep.
basketball games, football, whatever it may be?
Yes, absolutely. We're an IU family. My dad played basketball there, was captain in '61, played with Walt Bellamy. You can Google him. He was in the top 20 NBA scorers of all time for a long period. I think he's moved out of there now, but he and dad were teammates. And then both my brothers went to IU. So we're IU family, definitely.
Yeah.
We still go to their games. My dad and I just went to the Wisconsin game. I think we're going to go see Izzo and Michigan State come in there on Sunday. So, and I still am on a thread with all of my college teammates here at SC. I don't know if you guys knew that. There's about 25 of us that all played in our era. And we get on there and we're like 7-year-olds in a sandbox. We're arguing Big 12, who's better, the Big 12, the Big 10. And of course, they were all razzing me all year about IU football. And there's
Yeah.
a bunch of them that are big OU guys and Smitty's an Oklahoma State guy. And it's really fun. So to your point, yeah, we didn't know what to do with ourselves with football.
Mhm.
NIL and all that has all changed everything. And Signetti is just, I mean, he could probably run for governor in this state and win. And he just re-signed another big contract, and he's not satisfied after
Yeah.
winning that. To basketball, basketball has always been the team, in Indiana, and they've fallen on hard times over the last few years. But I do think they got one tonight against Northwestern. They're on the fringe of getting in the tournament, and we still get to games. And I think if you give Darian DeVries some time, he's going to turn that around too. I'm an eternal optimist, but yeah, IU basketball has not been where it has been for a number of years, so we're trying to bring that back.
Well, thank you. We really appreciate you spending all this time with us. I know you're taking out an hour out of your day, but thank you for being a
Good.
part of Builder Sports Live with us. Thank
Yeah,
you.
glad to do it. Anytime, guys.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Builder Sports Live as we look ahead at everything going on around SC this week. On Thursday, tomorrow, men's basketball is going to head to North Newton to take on the Bethel Threshers in the first round of the KCAC tournament. That'll start at 7 p.m. Go online, get your tickets, check all of Builders' socials, and remember, if the Mound Builders do win this game, they will play on Saturday, and if you win again, you play next Tuesday. So stay tuned to buildersports.com, to all of our socials, and keep in touch as this men's team looks to make a run in the playoffs.
Friday, February 27th, baseball will be at Ottawa University at 1 p.m., part of their weekend series. They'll turn it in on Saturday. They'll play a doubleheader versus Ottawa at 12 and 4. And then flag football will have their home opener versus William Woods University at 1 p.m. So make sure to come out to Richard L. Jant Stadium on Saturday. Support the flag football team. I believe they're receiving votes. In the
they are
polls,
in the top 10 polls.
Yeah.
So this team could be very competitive this year. And then on Tuesday, baseball will head out to Oakwoo for a 1 p.m. first pitch. It'll just be a 9-inning game. But if you're looking for a little midweek action to support the Builders, head out to Bartlesville, support them, as I'm sure they'll appreciate a little love from Mound Builder Nation on the road. But from everyone here at Builder Sports Live, from Trey and I, we thank you for watching this episode, and we'll see you next Wednesday.